Breaking down all 18 things you missed from Survivor Season 43, Episode 10. We're talking all things Jesse's blindside checklist, Noelle's amazing challenge performance, the Survivor Sanctuary, and much more. Careful for any spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet. And make sure to stick around as we announce last week's buff giveaway winner. If you want to enter next week's buff giveaway, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below how you'd rank Survivor 43 compared to Survivor 41 and 42. Let's get started with number 18, First Group Returns. We're gonna have Carla give us the recap of what happened. Remember, it was a double elimination and James was voted out at the first tribal council. Technically, Carla was supposed to be blindsided and out of the vote as well, but last minute Sammy tells her, which is good in a sense that Sammy did tell Carla what was going on, but it stresses her out how she was almost left out of the vote. I can really see this going one of two ways for Carla. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but either number one, she won't be able to recover from this, or number two, this is actually the perfect thing for her to snap her back into game mode and start strategizing. Number 17, second group returns. It's gonna be Cassidy that gives us the recap of the second group of players that went to tribal council. It was Ryan going home, which means Cassidy finally got her revenge on Ryan from way earlier in the season. When the second group of players got back to camp, they were just so confused how James was voted out with the knowledge is power advantage. All in all, I'm gonna say this every single time, I'm just so happy the knowledge is power is gone. Number 16, Jesse is skinny. Obviously, that's not the whole point of discussion here, but real talk for a second, look at these two images side by side. All I'm saying is Survivor's gotta be real. Look how much weight he's lost. It's not like a challenge we're gonna be talking about later seemed like it was a little bit faked. You know the moment I'm referring to. I'm excited to talk about that in a little bit. This was so funny and random from Jesse. He still technically has two idols. You know, the idol that Janine gave to Dwight, that Dwight gave to Jesse a few episodes ago, but he's also still holding on to Cody's hidden immunity idol. And random surprise, out of nowhere, we find out Jesse knows about Carla's idol. I'm gonna quote Rob Sesternino with this tweet right here. Since when? After all that confusion, Jesse and Noelle come together and say Sammy really can't be trusted in the game anymore. We'll talk about that moment a little later. Number 15, reward challenge. I'm a big fan of this one. You're gonna spin around a bunch of times so a buoy gets close to you, race through a series of obstacles and collect a sandbag along the way and get the sandbag on top of a tower. This is a reward challenge, so there needs to be a reward involved for winning. The winning player gets to go to the Survivor Sanctuary with food and drink, spending the night with letters from home. Number 14, the challenge. It's always hilarious. These people haven't eaten a lot of food. They're dehydrated, so when they spin around a bunch of times, they can't stand still. And ultimately, I'm just sad no one learned from Marianne last season that you just need to spin around the other way. But the big thing we need to talk about this challenge, and probably this episode overall, is obviously the amazing story Noelle gave us, underdog winning this challenge. It gets to the point where everyone else is on the very last section and Noelle hasn't even crossed the balance beam yet. We get some dramatic Survivor music, you know the classic, when someone's about to win, it's Carla throws it up, but then it fails. Same kind of thing happens with Sammy. We get the dramatic music, the pause, Sammy throws, but it's a fail. The editors were having a lot of fun with us during this challenge, and we're gonna talk about it just before tribal council. The editors are gonna have way more fun with us throughout the episode. When Noelle actually finished the balance beam, I was like, no way, there's no chance she's gonna be able to do this. This is one of those stories you just can't make up. It makes it feel like Survivor is fake here. How did this really happen? And I mean, Russell Muscle TV tweeted out, is this possibly fake? Where Survivor Dan said, not a chance. Number 13, reward decision. Congratulations, Noelle. We know what's gonna happen later in the episode, but I want to see Noelle return for a future season. She first chooses to take Sammy on the sanctuary with her, which makes sense. You want to keep the flipper on your side. And I thought this was hilarious. What if Jeff Probst exposed Sammy for being only 19 years old? She chose Jesse as well, and not gonna lie, that decision kind of confused me. And lastly, she picks Owen because he hasn't eaten in a long time. Number 12, Jeff Probst. After the commercial break, we see Jeff Probst breaking the fourth wall, telling all of us to apply for Survivor. And I mean, if you're gonna apply, you should probably practice the Survivor challenges. You may have already heard, but I've started making Survivor replica challenges, and I call it idol plays. I plan on fully launching idol plays during Survivor 44, but for a limited time until December 9th, check out the Survivor Fire Puzzle, custom bags to hold the puzzle while you're not doing it, the idol plays sticker, and Christmas ornament. I'll leave a link down in the description if you're interested. It's an awesome way to help support me and this channel. Number 11, the Sanctuary. Back to the episode, we're at the Sanctuary, and I'm convinced now the Sanctuary is just a part of all the new era Survivor Survivor seasons. So I guess new players applying, you can look forward to eventually going to the sanctuary. Maybe, I don't know. Owen's gonna break down in tears about his girlfriend writing him a letter about hopefully winning an immunity challenge. If you remember correctly, he has won an immunity challenge this season. Jesse breaks down in tears. The last time he communicated with his wife through letters, it was a completely different situation. What a fantastic story, knowing his wife since high school, all they've been through together. But not gonna lie, I was disappointed we didn't get any confessionals from Sammy's or Noelle's letters from home, but it was fun to see all the chatting, interacting together they had about just talking about those letters. Sammy goes into a little bit of strategy mode and says, look, we need to get Cassidy out of this game. Owen brings up a good idea about splitting the votes between Cassidy and Carla. I don't want to be the one bringing it up, but I see it all over social media. Cassidy, Carla, two girls getting targeted here. I don't know, let's move on. Number 10, the losers. We first see Cody. He's a salesman. He knows how all these serious talks work. It always happens over food. Ultimately, we see Cassidy and Cody talk together about wanting to take Noelle out because how dangerous she is in this game. Really, it's kind of amazing how many number one allies Noelle's had throughout the Survivor season. She started with Justine. Justine got voted out. Then she had Dwight. Dwight got voted out, and now she has Sammy. Like I said previously, Noelle's a really good Survivor player. Number 9, pulling in Gabler. It's been obvious multiple times throughout the season, Gabler's a dude that's just hard to talk strategy with sometimes. He wants to wait till after the immunity challenge to make their decision on who to go home, but he says he's actually positioned perfectly in the game right now. He's in the middle between the two power alliances. I have a little bit of a hot take, but I think for sure Gabler's gonna be making the final tribal council. He's been getting consistent screen time all season long, even when it wasn't really important to the story. I just can't decide if he's gonna be a 0 vote finalist or the winner of the season. This Sweet Thing 0 vote finalist. Number 8, immunity challenge. Once again, this challenge looks like a lot of fun. You gotta keep a balancing board steady while stacking cards high enough to reach the finish mark. First one to do it wins. Number 7, the challenge. Until I rewatched the episode, I actually forgot the montage we had of all the cards falling over everywhere. The producers really have tons of fun with us, throw many little moments throughout this episode that make it fun to watch. But don't worry, the best editing trick of the entire episode is still yet to come after the challenge. Cassidy has a really weird strategy of once she gets the cards high enough, she's just gonna stack them flat to keep it a little more steady. I'm kind of conflicted on this one if it should be legal and allowed or not. Ultimately, she gets the win. She puts that off the checklist. The only thing left is to actually win the game. What do you think? Cassidy's winner edit coming in clutch? You know I love my Survivor tweets, and I caught this one of maybe Jeff called the win wrong. Number 6, back to camp. All I gotta say is let's go. I'm always pumped when someone that's in danger of going home wins the challenge. That just feels so good. Problem is, Noelle's gonna need a new plan now because her original target was gonna be Cassidy. I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier in the video, but I'm always confused why Noelle keeps talking about Jesse and Cody being her tight alliance. Because I swear, multiple times throughout the season, Cody and Jesse have betrayed Noelle. How are they so close? Number 5, Cody and Jesse. Look at that. We were just talking about those two. And what do you know? They want to take Noelle out here. But the thing is, Noelle is a scary, powerful player. To take her out of the game, you need to perfect the art of the blind side. Number 4, blindside checklist. Maybe it's just me, but I get a sense the Survivor editors maybe watch our channel. You know, the blindside checklist, going through the numbers. That's a lot how I structure all these videos. Number 1, have a cover story. Number 2, throw the fall guy under the bus. Number 3, have a backup plan. Like, come on, that's literally how we do these videos around here. All in all, that whole thing was so over the top, and I loved every single second of it. I understand it wasn't for everyone, as this person wasn't a fan of it, but I really was. Number 3, Gabler and Carla. Just before tribal council and right after Jesse goes through his checklist blindside plan, we see Gabler get a little too worried about how much power Cody and Jesse have in the game. At this point in the game, I'm personally viewing Jesse like Ricard from Survivor 41 and Omar from Survivor 42. These characters, Omar, Ricard, and now Jesse, I think are the big boss that someone needs to take out to ultimately win the season. I got fooled. I thought it was going to be Gabler making that move on this player tonight. Number 2, tribal council. Jeff's gotta find a way to mix up the format of tribal councils. I'm just not having it with all these out there metaphors. Like Gabler talking about heart valve surgery, relating it back to Survivor. I don't understand that. And then when Jesse talked about his letters from home, I thought for sure he was gonna be the one getting blindsided. But number 1, Noelle voted out. Anyways, congratulations Brian, you're this week's buff giveaway winner. I'll announce a new winner next week, and click right here to check out my Survivor Fire puzzle.